Have you ever replayed a conversation over and over again in your mind, wishing you had said something different? Or spent hours stuck in your own head, overanalyzing every possible outcome before making even the smallest decision? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In today's fast-paced, always connected world, overthinking has quietly become one of the biggest sources of anxiety, stress, and exhaustion. It's like we're carrying the weight of 1,000 what-ifs, and no matter how much we think about something, we rarely feel any closer to peace. But what if there's a better way? Stop Overthinking by Nick Trenton is a practical guide for anyone who feels trapped by their own thoughts. Instead of just telling you to think positive, Nick breaks down the real reasons why we overthink and gives clear, simple strategies to break free. This isn't about ignoring your problems or forcing yourself to stay busy. It's about learning to recognize your thought patterns, understanding the traps your mind sets for you, and building habits that create real, lasting calmness from within. In this video, we'll dive deep into the key lessons from Stop Overthinking and explore how you can quiet your mind, lower your anxiety, and start living more fully in the present moment. Let's get into it. Before we can learn how to stop overthinking, it's important to understand why it happens in the first place. At its core, overthinking is our mind's way of trying to protect us. It's an ancient survival instinct, a leftover from a time when scanning for danger was necessary for staying alive. Our brains are wired to predict problems, to anticipate threats, to plan for the worst. In modern life, though, the threats aren't usually wild animals or natural disasters. They're emotional fears, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making the wrong. Nick Trenton explains that overthinking is often triggered by a deep need for certainty and control. When the future feels uncertain, our minds spin stories, replaying the past, imagining different outcomes, obsessing over what we should do. We believe that if we just think a little harder, if we analyze every angle, we can somehow guarantee a perfect outcome. But the truth is, no amount of thinking can eliminate life's uncertainties. And the more we try to control everything, the more trapped and anxious we feel. The main causes of overthinking, according to Nick Trenton, are 1. Fear of failure. We overthink decisions because we're terrified of making a mistake, of falling short, or of looking foolish. 2. Perfectionism. We set impossibly high standards for ourselves, and then worry endlessly about not meeting them. 3. Low self-esteem. When we doubt our own worth or abilities, we second-guess every choice we make. 4. Fear of uncertainty. We crave a sense of safety and predictability. But life simply doesn't work that way. Understanding these root causes isn't about blaming yourself. It's about seeing your mind clearly, with compassion instead of judgment. When you notice yourself overthinking, you're not broken or weak. You're simply human, trying to navigate a world that often feels overwhelming. And that awareness, that moment of noticing, is actually your first step toward freedom. Overthinking doesn't just live quietly inside our minds. It slowly spills into every corner of our lives. Nick Trenton explains that when we get stuck in mental loops, the first thing we lose is our sense of peace. Instead of living in the present, we're trapped either in the regrets of the past or the worries of the future. Over time, this constant tension can lead to anxiety, where even small decisions feel overwhelming. It can cause procrastination because we become so paralyzed by fear that taking any action feels impossible. Overthinking also steals our sleep, keeping us awake at night replaying conversations, imagining worst-case scenarios, and questioning ourselves. We start to doubt our instincts, second-guess our choices, and lose confidence in our ability to navigate life. What once felt exciting or manageable now feels heavy and exhausting. Trenton points out that overthinking creates a vicious cycle. The more we think, the more anxious we become. And the more anxious we become, the harder it is to think clearly. Our mind's attempt to protect us actually backfires, making us feel more stuck and powerless. One of the most powerful ideas in the book is this: every time we overthink, we are missing out on life as it's happening. While we're busy living in our heads, the real moments of joy, connection, and possibility are quietly passing us by. Recognizing these effects is not meant to create guilt. It's a gentle reminder that the cost of overthinking is simply too high. We owe it to ourselves to find a different way, a way that leads back to presence, clarity, and peace. So how do we actually stop overthinking? Nick Trenton offers a roadmap that is simple, practical, and realistic for daily life. The first and most powerful tool is mindfulness. Instead of letting your thoughts pull you into the past or future, mindfulness gently brings you back to the present moment. Trenton suggests simple exercises like taking 5 deep, slow breaths and focusing entirely on what you see, hear, and feel around you. This helps you ground yourself when your mind starts spinning. Another key technique is cognitive behavioral thinking, which means challenging your thoughts instead of blindly believing them. When you notice yourself imagining the worst-case scenario, pause and ask, is this really true? Is there another way to look at it? By questioning our mental stories, we loosen their grip. Acceptance is another major theme. Instead of fighting uncertainty or trying to control every detail, Trenton encourages us to accept that uncertainty is simply part of life. One practical way to practice this is to write down everything you cannot control, and then physically throw the paper away, symbolically letting go. Decision-making is another area where overthinking often strikes. So Trenton recommends setting strict time limits. For small decisions, give yourself no more than 15 minutes. For bigger ones, set a clear deadline. Action is also a direct antidote to anxiety. Instead of thinking endlessly about what you should do, take one small step. Even a tiny action, like sending an email or making a list, builds momentum and quiets the mind. Finally, Trenton reminds us to have healthy mental distractions ready. Instead of letting your mind spiral, you can redirect your energy into activities like creative work, exercising, spending time in nature, or simply connecting with others. Overthinking feeds on isolation and idle time. But when we engage with life actively and intentionally, we reclaim our peace. These tools aren't complicated, but they require practice. Little by little, by applying these techniques, you can teach your mind that it's safe to rest, to trust, and to live fully in the now. Stopping overthinking isn't just about using a few quick tricks when you feel stressed. It's about building long-term mental strength that naturally keeps you calm, focused, and resilient. Nick Trenton explains that mental strength is like a muscle. The more you practice healthy thinking patterns, the stronger and more natural they become. One powerful habit he recommends is regular self-reflection. Taking just a few minutes at the end of each day to ask yourself simple questions like, what went well today? Or, what can I let go of? Helps you develop awareness and stay grounded in reality. Another important practice is setting strong personal boundaries. When you say yes to everything and everyone, you drain your energy and invite chaos into your mind. Learning to respectfully say no protects your peace and gives your mind room to breathe. Trenton also emphasizes the importance of self-compassion. Many overthinkers are incredibly harsh on themselves, replaying every mistake and criticizing every small flaw. Building long-term strength means learning to talk to yourself with kindness, as you would to a close friend. Developing a healthy lifestyle supports your mental clarity too. Things like regular exercise, proper sleep, nourishing food, and digital detoxes create a strong foundation where anxiety struggles to take root. Finally, staying connected with others, through friendships, community, or even simple acts of kindness, helps prevent the isolation that fuels overthinking. Strength doesn't mean never struggling. It means trusting that even when anxiety shows up, you have the tools and the patience to guide yourself back to calm. Over time, with consistency and care, peace stops feeling like a rare moment and starts becoming your normal way of living. Overthinking doesn't disappear overnight, but with patience and small daily actions, you can break free from the endless mental loops and find real peace. Nick Trenton's message in Stop Overthinking is clear. You are not your thoughts. You have the power to step back, to question, and to choose a calmer way of living. By practicing mindfulness, challenging unhelpful thoughts, accepting uncertainty, and strengthening your mind over time, you slowly shift from surviving your thoughts to mastering them. You start living in the real world again, not trapped in imaginary fears or regrets. Remember, even noticing when you're overthinking is a victory, because awareness is the beginning of change. Progress isn't about being perfect, it's about coming back to yourself. Again and again, With kindness. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more weekly book insights and practical tips to help you live a calmer, more intentional life. And if you're feeling generous, a like or a comment really helps this channel grow and reach more people who might need this message too. Until next time, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and remember, your mind can be your greatest ally when you learn how to listen to it with care.